Attention all the student of 5th sem for subject estimating, costing and contracting. Today we will discuss the learning outcome number 14 for content estimate the quantity of material with specification as per schedule of rates and their cost for given kVA rating of substation and LTHT lines. In this we have to discuss the contents. LTHT conductor cable used for overhead underground line and factors determining the selection of HT-LT conductors, power cable, cable laying and cable termination methods. Then second bullet short is there, 11 by 0.4 kV or 33 by 0.4 kV distribution substation, their line diagram, estimation of load and determination of rating of distribution transformer, and the third one is the estimating and costing of LTHT, overhead line and underground cable. So partially these points I have covered in my previous lecture, but today I will just shout out those points which are not discussed. So here in the first bullet point it is given LT-HT line conductor oblique cable. So in HT-LT line, as I have told you, in LT line all aluminum conductors are used and their specification I have given 6 oblique. The diameter of there are 6 wire of each diameter say 2.5 or 3.15 or 3.5, and if the conductor is used for HT line, then it is ACSR conductor, that is aluminum conductor steel reinforced, in which 6/1 2.5 or 6/1 3.5 or 3.15 depending upon the current loading of the line. So ACSR means that is aluminum conductor steel reinforced. So 6/1 means there are 6 conductor of aluminum and 1 conductor of steel which is at the center and aluminum conductor surround it. So it is called ACSR conductor. So these are used for HT line. Now so far as cross sectional area or selection of underground cable is concerned, so there are different type of cables available according to their number of layers. So in the total number of layers in a cable, there are 5 layers on the conductor. So conductor first, then insulation, then lead sheathing, then bedding, then armoring and then serving. These are the 5 layers of different materials are there. So armoring, it is done of metal sheets or metal with the help of metal sheets, and armoring after that serving is done by hard rubber or hard PVC, and insulation is done by the PVC insulation or cotton insulation or jute insulation, and bedding is done by the jute or maximum by the cushion material which is done for after the sheathing work. Sheathing work is carried out with the help of lead sheath. So conductor, insulation, lead sheathing, then bedding, then armoring and then serving. So these are total on the conductor there are 5 layers are there. Now depending upon use of the cable underground or overhead, the armoring can be replaced. If we are using the cable on overhead line, then we do not use this armored cable, but normally armored cable used for underground cable, underground laying. So laying method of cable, as I have told you, it is done in the trench, and the trench depth is about 1.5 feet from the ground level. In the rural area or in the industries area or in the city area, maximum depth can be taken for trench, it is 1.5 feet, that is 1.5 feet. Similarly, there are different methods of laying of cable, direct laying of cable in the trench, and in which we use the brickwork for bottom side laying, and if number of cables are more, then we can also install the trenches. In the trenches we are also installed the cable trays. On these trays the cables are run. So normally in big substation the cable laying is done for control cable and power cable separately, in which the cable trays are used, and the depth of trench in that case it is 1.5 meter, and it is all cemented work is concrete work is there for the trench, and in this way the cable laying is takes place. Nowadays cable laying is also done on the overhead line. So these cable are normally use unarmored cable, and they are run between the pole. On place of bare conductor of aluminum or copper, we are using the cable which are having normally three layers: one of conductor, second of insulation, and third is bed sheathing, that is sheathing, the lead sheathing. So in this way, and the final layer it is of PVC again. So there will be on conductor there will be three layers are there which are used. Now cross sectional area of the cable it is always given in terms of square mm. So square mm cable they are available from 1.1 square mm to 16 square mm, in the range of 1 square mm, 1.5 square mm, 2.5 square mm, 4 square mm, 6 square mm, 10 square mm and 16 square mm. These are the cable available for copper conductor. And when you go for a cable in aluminum conductor, then up to 16 square mm the same ratings are there. But when you go for higher, then you will be available with 20 square mm, 25 square mm, 75 square mm, 100 square mm, 150 square mm, 200 square mm, and like this it is go up to 500 or 400 square mm depending upon the load. So cable laying is selection of cable is done according to the load calculation. Now here he has given how to decide the kVA rating of the transformer. So kVA rating of the transformer for any particular DP structure to be grouted or to be constructed as a substation of 33 by 0.4 kV or 11 by 0.4 kV. For this we first work out the total kilowatt load of the area in which this transformer is to be installed, and this kilowatt is divided by the average power factor of the area that is normally taken as in the colony or domestic area it is 0.8. So kVA rating can be derived from that kilowatt divided by 0.8 power factor, so that will give the kVA rating of the transformer. So kVA rating normally transformer available in the standard format of the manufacturer. So you can get 25 kVA transformer, then 63 kVA transformer, then 75 kVA transformer, then 100 kVA transformer, 125 kVA transformer, 150 kVA transformer, then 200 kVA transformer, and whatever load if you decide according to the kilowatt rating, so you can also get the transformer of the desired rating by the manufacturer on the order basis. Order basis means if suppose your transformer rating is coming 175 kVA and it is not readily available in the market, then you can order this transformer to the manufacturer, so they will manufacture this transformer of 175 kVA. So standard rating of course available readily, but if some rating come in between these standard rating, then you can get the transformer manufactured by the putting the order to the manufacturer. So this is the way of getting transformer for the pole mounted substation. Now single line diagram of the transformer substation, this DP transformer substation, it is I will provide you. So voltage it may be primary side may be 11 kV or 33 kV, but secondary voltage is 0.4 kV, that is 400 volt. So diagram for both the substation are almost same. only in 33 kV the height of the structure it is slightly more. Normally for 11 kV by 0.4 kV we are using 9 meter pole, and for 33 by 0.4 kV transformer we use 11 meter RH joist pole. So the size of pole only differ, and the size of the rating size of the different equipment which are installed on the transformer, from AB switch to DO fuse and then lightning arrestor and all that, their grouting channels dimension they may change according to 11 or 33 kV. And the voltage rating, of course, it is already given, so you can select AB switch for 33 kV if it is a 33 kV by 0.4 kV transformer, and if it is 11 kV, so you use the you can select 11 kV AB switch. Then DO fuse rating, it can be determined by the primary voltage and kVA rating of the transformer. This is already given you, that kVA divided by the kilovolt rating, so it will give the DO fuse rating on the HT side. Then after that the sequence in the lightning arrestor, it is come on the top, sometimes it is below in the AB switch, and the DO fuse is near to the transformer primary bushing. So in the diagram which I will provide you, all the dimensions are given, and according to those dimension standard you can construct the substation according to the instruction given and the dimension given. The dimension of the clearances of the each particular equipment installed on DP structure, and the height of the transformer, height of the LT cubicle distribution box, and all these things are given in the diagram. So if you list out the material by looking at the diagram, then its estimate can easily prepared. And transformer rating, when you go for costing of the transformer, so normally 2000 per kVA is the rating of the aluminum winding transformer nowadays. So 2000 per kVA you can select the cost of the transformer. If it is a 100 kVA transformer, then 2000 multiplied by 100, that will be the cost of the transformer. The other equipment like AB switch, DO fuse, lightning arrestor, their cost varies from 5000 rupees to 15 or 20,000 rupees. And other material like poles, they are available normally in the range of 3000 to 5000 rupees cost. So costing can be taken by assumptions. Exact cost we cannot predict, because there is a always variation in the cost in the market takes place. So whatever cost if I give, it is not a strict to that particular cost at which the particular material available in the market. So normally in casting part we will go for the approximate cost, and which I have given to you. So this is when preparation of the estimate is there. So for line estimate, I also given one problem solved in my previous lecture, and one problem for the solution of this 33 by 0.4 kV or 11 by 0.4 kV pole mounted substation. I will give one question on that, one estimate of that on your after this video. So along with this video I will post this. So these are the content of all these factors which are used for selection of HT-LT line conductor and power cable and the rating of the transformer. Now cable laying and cable termination method. This is that cable laying. I have told you the cable lies directly in the trench with the help of concrete structure, or by putting sand, or sometime bricks work is there, and they are installed, or they are laid in the trench. But when we talk about the termination of cable, then we have to use particular size of lugs for the cable, and with the help of crimping tools we just clip the cable at the bus bar or at the terminal end where it is to be connected. So crimping tool is one of the tool which is required for crimping of the lux on the cable, and then this lux will be connected to the terminal with the help of nut and bolts. So different size of lux are available of aluminum or copper depending upon the type of cable you are using, and they are also available in square mm. In their diameter is also available in square mm. So you can select according to size of cable what size of lux will be required for that, for terminating the cable at the terminating end of the terminal where it is to be connected, and from where it is to be taped, both the end, from the end from where we are taping the cable and the end where we are taping this cable connecting to the load. So both the side we have to use the lux of particular size of the cable, they are available, and crimping tools is used for crimping of this cable. So there will be a solid attachment of the cable conductors with the lux, and then it is tightened with the help of nut bolts to the terminal box or to the bus bar. This is all depends upon the situation of the site or the material used in the site. So this is the determination of rating of distribution transformer when we go. Then as I have told you, kilowatt rating of the area, that is the load of the area in kilowatt, you first work out and then divide it by 0.8. So this will give you the total kVA rating of the transformer. Now voltage selection of the transformer primary side, it depends on the line available in the area. If suppose 33 kV line is there, and from where you have to tape the pole mounted substation, then you have to choose a 33 by 0.4 kV transformer. And if suppose 11 kV line is running in the area, then you have to select 11 by 0.4 kV rating. kVA rating, it may varies from the load to load. Load to load means in particular area, suppose 100 kilowatt load is there, divided by 0.8, whatever answer will come, that around that you select the transformer kVA. So kVA rating, normally transformer selected for kVA rating as per the calculation, whatever kVA rating is exactly you determine, you slightly take more higher side transformer. Suppose your kVA rating is coming 50 kVA from a calculation, then you go for 63 kVA transformer, because 50 kVA transformer is not readily available in the market. 63 kVA rating if you select, then it is a slightly higher side, and in future if suppose load is increased on the transformer, then your transformer will be able to take that load. In our institute, our load is 75 kVA, but we have selected a transformer of 100 kVA. So there is a 25 kVA additional load we can take any time when there is an increase of load in the institute. So normally when we select the kVA rating of the transformer, then you go for the slightly higher side of the calculated value. That will help you in future. Suppose the load increase, then you do not want to change the transformer as a whole, but because there is a spare capacity available, so that load can be met out from that spare capacity. So this is one of the point you should keep in your mind whenever you select the rating of the transformer. So in this particular article, learning outcome number 14, this is to be done that with the help of SOR. He has given SOR. My first lecture I have shown you the SOR, that is schedule of rate, in which I have given you the total SOR content of that, in which the rating of the transformer and their cost is also given, and different material used for pole mounted substation, they are also given, and their cost also given. So SOR if available with you, then you can directly get the cost from that particular SOR. and definitely that cost should be compared with the present market cost depending upon the SOR available of which year. As I have told in my first lecture that SOR if available of the old years, then in the current year the rate may be increased by 20%, 30%, 50%. So you have to add this 20% or the increase rate in the SOR value of the component which you have get from the schedule of rate. So this is a normal procedure for finding out the cost with the help of SOR, because in the article he has given to take the help of SOR. So whenever there will be offline class, I will show you this SOR, how it can be read, how it can be search the material of different qualities required by you for a particular substation estimation. So this is a better way you will understand when I take your offline classes in the institute. So for this time you just go through this lecture, and I will provide you the line diagram of the pole mounted substation, in which all the clearance and specification of the materials and all the component parts are given, and according to that you can prepare a list of material, and then you can find out its value or cost or the estimated cost of the transformer. So in this particular article number 15, that is learning outcomes, is given prepare an estimate with cost for pole mounted substation of given transformer rating. Of given transformer rating is given in content. You have to find out the cost of a 200 kV outdoor type transformer to be used for pole mounted substation. So here voltage E is not given. Of course we can take 33 by 0.4 or we can take 11 by 0.4. Transformer rating is given 200 kVA. So 200 kVA, if you are using 33 kV input voltage at the primary side, so the DO fuse rating will be 200 kVA divided by 33. So whatever value will come. And if it is 11 kV rating is there, then it is 200 kVA divided by 11 kV. So this will give the rating of the DO fuse. So only for calculation of the DO fuse rating, you require the primary voltage either 11 kV or 33 kV. That is depends on the ability of the line in that area where you want to construct this particular substation. The kVA rating, of course, they have already given. Otherwise, according to area and the load in the area, we can select the transformer rating, kVA rating by just consideration of the kilowatt load of the area divided by the power factor of 0.8, average power factor. So that will give the size of transformer also and its kVA rating. So if it is already given to you, you prepare the estimate for a 200 kVA rating transformer of 11 by 0.4 kV or 33 by 0.4 kV, then you can directly go for the calculation with the help of this 200 kVA rating. But if it is not given, then you have to decide or calculate the kVA rating with the help of kilowatt loading of the transformer in the area. So this is the brief notes about construction of a pole mounted substation, its total diagram and specification and the different types of material that I will give in the diagram on your WhatsApp group, and in which there are three parts in which the construction takes place for the pole mounted substation. First part is the structure part, in which all the metal work is there. That is RH joist and number of horizontal channels or angle irons are used for installation of AB switch, lightning arrestor, DO fuse, transformer installation, plus the distribution box installation. So that is the structure part. Then second part is the equipment part. In equipment part we will go for AB switch, lightning arrestor, DO fuse, transformer itself, and the LT cubical box in which bus bar or MCBs of particular rating are used. Sometime HRC fuse are also used in some distribution box, so it depends upon the size or type of distribution box which you are selecting. So structure part, equipment part and hardware part, these are the three sections for construction of a pole mounted substation. So in structure part you select all the structure material which are angle iron, RH joist, C channel iron, I section and whatever it is required according to your requirement of the substation. Then equipment part, it is very simple. There are only 4 equipments required: lightning arrestor at the top of the transformer or DP, and AB switch along with that, and then DO fuse, then transformer itself, and LT cubicle, bus bar or the main switch or main distribution board. So these are the equipment part. In hardware part you will take the anti-climbing device you have to provide on both the poles, on both the side. Then earthing you have to done for the transformer. As I have told you in my previous lecture that 5 earthing are to be done: 3 for lightning arrestor, 1 for neutral earthing and 1 for the body earthing of the transformer. So in hardware part you will calculate or count all the material which are required for earthing, for tightening of the channels on the pole, and all other sundry material, small material which are used, say empire tape you have to use, then small nut bolts you have to use, then some thimbles you have to use, then earthing bolt you have to use, then earthing helical coil you have to use. So these all will come under the hardware part of the transformer. So transformer estimate or estimate of a pole mounted substation, it is classified into 3 part. One part is structure part, second part is equipment part, and third part is the hardware part. So all the items you can count in all the 3 sections, and then the total estimate can be prepared by finding out their cost, quantity multiply by cost, and then you add up all this. So final estimate will be obtained, on which you take 15% the cost of labor, that is on total cost of material you take 15% cost of labor, 7% you can take this contingency charges, and about 2000 rupees you can take inspection fees for the authorities which inspect the your substation, and after that you can be allowed to charge the substation. So testing fees is necessary to be taken in the estimate. So normally this fees may vary, but maximum I think 2000 rupees is the fees for inspection, and 7% you can take contingency charges, which I have already defined its use and from where it is to be taken, and the labor charges, it is 15%, either on the cost of the material, or if you can calculate on mendage basis, then that method is also there. So suppose you required some 10 laborers to construct that particular transformer pole mounted substation. In that case, these 10 laborers have different rate of their wages, and calculation will be done according to number of days the work is there. Suppose a work is running for 3 days, and in 3 days you require different type of labor with different rate of wages, then you calculate for 3 days different type of labor. Suppose you require 3 laborers of skill nature, for them you have to pay 600 rupees per day. So 600 into 3 for 3 days, so 1800 into 3, so 5400 will be the wages for the skilled labor. Similarly, for other labor you can calculate number of labor, number of working days, and their rate of wages. So in this way also you can calculate the labor charges. Otherwise the simple method is that total cost of estimate you have got, you find out the 15% of that will cover the total complete work of the transformer mounting or the installation of the pole mounted substation. So I end with this learning outcome number 15, in which we have to take the 200 kVA transformer. So diagram will be same, only you have to write down the rating of the equipment and the transformer according to 200 kVA. Otherwise component part and all these things, they will be similar, their specification are slightly changed, whether you are taking 33 kV input voltage or 11 kV input voltage. According to that, the rating of the DO fuse will change, rating of the AB switch will change, rating of the your lightning arrestor will change, and the rating or the specification of the horizontal members will change. Otherwise RH joist, it is to be taken, I have told you, 9 meter in case of 11 kV and 11 meter in case of 33 kV. This is the height of the pole. So this is all about the last article of this. So I have finished almost all the learning outcome he has given. So theoretically I have complete all these articles up to this 353, that is learning outcome number 15. Before that I have completed up to 51. So today I have taken 352, the 52 and 53 both. So this finishes your course of estimating, costing and contracting. Now only things remain, it is that you have to practice to prepare the estimate, and when offline classes will be there, I will give the problems to you and explain how to solve it, but maximum things I have clear in my lectures, and the diagram portion of this I will provide you, and one estimate also I will provide you. With the help of that you can learn yourself, and if any difficulty you may ask on the number, you have already my WhatsApp group number. So if you could not understand anything, then you can ask me directly. Okay, thank you for today.